It's God Bless Fantasy Football Day. Week 10 is where we're going. Waiver Wire Tuesday. I can't believe we are already heading into Week 10, Sasha.
I know. I don't know what's happening anymore at this point. Between college and the NFL and then doing this podcast, I don't know where I am.
Everything's running together. Everything is running together. But how are your fantasy teams doing? That's the ultimate question, because there are many things a man can do at this time, but none are better than this. Fantasy football. That's what we do. It's the best show out there. I have to say that quote all the time, at least twice an episode. They're not doing new episodes anymore? No, the league is done. But you can still find it, I think, on like Hulu, maybe Amazon.
Probably. I'm going to have to restart
It's so good. It's so funny.
I can feel something. Taco's the best.
Taco? I like Pete.
What?
Do you not like Pete?
Which one's Pete?
The main guy?
There's like 5 main dudes.
Like the guy that starts the episode. Like the very first episode of season 1.
I remember the very first episode.
He's the guy that says there are many things a man can do with his time, but none are better than this.
I'll have to look it up.
Yeah. Pete. Who else is on that show? Ruxin?
Ruxin is the one I don't like, because I don't like him as an actor, period, because he really annoys me.
What about, is it Adrian? Is he the bald guy?
Oh.
And then
I don't remember. It's been so long, dude.
And then
I don't know.
The couple. Who's married?
But the main dude was married.
No. Pete's the bachelor. He's the one that his wife divorced him or something, or broke up with the girlfriend.
Like at all.
Pete, type in Pete from the league. Yeah, we're gonna just look at the cast of the league before we get into our Week 10.
Okay, Pete is the one that he's in a lot of creepy.
And then
movies,
it's Kevin and Jenny. Okay, Taco's great. Taco is great.
John LaJoy and end of story.
You know who else is great though? Justin Fields.
Yes.
Justin Fields is awesome. 70% owned still in just most formats. I bet after everybody burns their waiver on him, because he's a league winner. He's somebody that's going to win you your fantasy league. The way the Bears are playing him right now, they finally figured out how to utilize Justin Fields properly. By tomorrow, I bet that 70% looks like 84%.
Oh, absolutely. If not in like the low 90s, I think. I mean, the guy had 43 points in a standard league.
Do you remember who I compared him to on Sunday? Do you remember?
I listened to about half of what you say.
Yeah, well, naturally. So then you should know this guy's last name then, right?
I don't remember
half of what I say.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally. But you remember shrimp chip episode?
Shrimp chip?
I do that to you most episodes.
Thanks.
Because I'm worried about saying something wrong. I am a woman. I don't want people to come after me on the internet.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
If I misspeak, get someone's name wrong, say a stat wrong. No. I'm so focused. I'm reading.
Are you that? Are the people that mean to you?
Not to me, but I also don't make mistakes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. I know where you're coming from, because I know the direction you're talking about. For all of you out there.
Who did you compare him to on Sunday, though?
Jalen Hurts.
Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah. I remember
I really do feel like he's trending in the Jalen Hurts direction when it comes to fantasy production. The Eagles, of course, completely different team. I'm not saying you put Justin Fields on the Eagles and he is as good as Jalen Hurts. Now, he could be. That's up for debate. That could be a debate for a different day.
Yeah.
But Jalen Hurts, if you look at his stat line, it's always going to be roughly around 185 passing yards and 100 rushing yards. And he's going to run the ball 17 times. That's exactly what the Bears are doing right now with Justin Fields. They finally figured out how to get the most use out of him possible in a football game. And he gave them the best chance of winning against the Dolphins this past weekend.
Yeah, it was incredible. When I was looking up, I didn't know how many points he had in our league. And I was like, holy guacamole. Like,
If
Ashley's unrivaled team.
And I still beat him.
Hopefully won.
No, I still beat him because, well, so Ashley's unrivaled team is a combination of Amanda and Malia. So those two have not checked their team all year.
Oh, they got smoked.
Well, it's because they're starting 2 guys in their IR.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them is named Javonte Williams, who got hurt
a while
early
ago.
on this season.
Yeah.
Way early on. And they still have a win, believe it or not. They are 1-8, but they also started Breece Hall,
Yeah.
who is out for the year. They just don't check their team. So if you get to play Ashley's unrivaled team and GBFF, or if you get to play them this week when Joe Burrow's on a bye, because I know they're not starting anybody else. So whoever gets Ashley's unrivaled team, congratulations. You just got a W.
Yeah.
It's kind of how I looked at it, though, when I walked into my matchup last week, not going to lie. Aside from Justin Fields, though, think about all of the other Bears weapons that are available in your leagues. You have Cole Kmet, who is starting to become something with Justin Fields. He caught 2 touchdowns this last weekend. He had 41 receiving yards on 5 catches. The week before, he went 2 for 11, but he also caught his first touchdown of the year. You just look at how improved the offense has become in Chicago, and you think all of those guys that we maybe drafted early on this season, Darnell Mooney was probably roughly a 10 or 11th round pick. Cole Kmet could have been a backup tight end to some people. You look at other Bears receivers out there and think, now if Justin Fields is throwing the ball a majority of the time, or not the majority, but at least they're moving the football down the field and spreading it more, and with how he can use his legs to maybe open up a lane and get the defense, maybe on its heels sometimes, you're going to see more production out of these Bears weapons.
Yeah,
you just will. It's going to be Cole Kmet. It's going to be Darnell Mooney. Chase Claypool's going to get more targets too. Now is the time to maybe take a chance. Take a flyer on a Cole Kmet. You're dealing with bye weeks. You don't know who to start. Maybe it's Cole Kmet this week. You go grab Darnell Mooney again. We looked at Darnell Mooney as somebody that would be 90 to 95% owned when this year started. You grab Darnell Mooney again because the Bears are figuring things out.
Yeah, for sure.
So go after the Chicago Bears this week. That's how I'm going to place my thoughts when it comes to the waiver wire. And I know I'm really biased. I'm a Bears fan. I understand that. And I'm not trying to overreact to this. But when I look at most waiver wires in the 5 leagues that I'm in, I sit back and say, well, the Bears are the ones readily available and the best ones available. We're too late into the season now to make a waiver wire work. Now it's, hey, we're in desperation mode. We need something to work, or it's, as Sasha just said, it's bye week. It's plug and play week. That's how you attack this moving forward.
By the way, in our league, or in Yahoo, Darnell Mooney is only owned 61%.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
This is somebody that I drafted in multiple leagues to start the year. And I dropped him too because he wasn't doing anything, because the Bears could not figure out how to get the most out of Justin Fields. Now they have. Now Mooney's finding his target share, his yards per game, his touchdowns in the end zone. They're all starting to find ways. It's clicking. Yeah. It's finally
and especially
clicking.
This week, because their next matchup is against the Lions.
And it's a perfect opportunity. Although the Lions did make Aaron Rodgers look silly.
They did, but I don't think there's a team out there that at this point, the way that team is playing, and I don't know what the hell they're doing in Green Bay, but I think any team would have a really good time embarrassing.
It may be time to pick up Jordan Love. Who knows? Yeah. Who knows? Now, don't do that. You don't pay Aaron Rodgers $50 million to go 3-6. At some point, you have to sit him down and say, you have to figure this out.
Yeah.
You figured this out the last 2 years. You have to do it again.
Yeah. No pressure.
He's old enough. He's one of a former MVP from last season. He's a leader in the locker room when he wants to be, and he's not just yelling at his teammates because he throws the ball short when he should throw it longer. Let's be real here, Aaron. Let's maybe
you can only
drink a cup of humbleness.
Yeah, no kidding. That's like Tom Brady getting mad at everybody. It's like, well, make the throw,
Talk
dude.
about the Bucs being bad too. I mean,
that's what you're there for, my friends.
I could not believe all of the tweets I saw over the weekend of, oh, Tom Brady's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT. I'm like, yeah, he had 1 touchdown pass and it came with 11 seconds left. So congratulations. Tom Brady's the GOAT.
I understand that, but like, one season doesn't tarnish your entire career.
I'm not saying you react as if he's the GOAT, though, after he gets 1 touchdown pass.
Okay.
Tom Brady is one of the best quarterbacks of all time, and he is in conversation to be the greatest quarterback of all time. I'm not arguing that.
He's not playing up to the hype, is what you're saying?
No, what I argue is people reacting as if he led a touchdown drive against a Rams defense that just let him walk all over him with 20 seconds to go, and you're acting like he's the best thing since sliced bread again. Stop it.
Yeah, well, that's Tom Brady fans for you.
I'm just saying, don't bring out GOAT status when you get one touchdown.
Okay. Should we run through a couple of the players we want to pick up?
Go ahead. I said the Bears.
Just the Bears. I've got Rondale Moore on my list again this week. He's available in more than 80% of leagues, which to me is a little bit ridiculous. He led the Cardinals with 10 targets on Sunday and converted them into nearly 15 fantasy
They throw
points.
the football.
They do. And he's recorded at least 7 catches and 69 yards in each of the last 2 games for the Cardinals. Seems like he's settling in into a pretty ideal role with Arizona, and it has been consistently productive. So I needed a wide receiver this week.
You know, a wide receiver that I needed and I started because I realized that Mike Williams and Keenan Allen were out was Josh Palmer. And Josh Palmer on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll say a little tidbit and then you fire off your pointers. But Josh Palmer ended with like 10 for 108.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of fantasy points when it comes to PPR production or just standard league production.
Mm-hmm.
That's more than most receivers will get you in a week. And thank goodness the Chargers didn't play their best football most of that game because Justin Herbert didn't go away from throwing.
Right, exactly. And you may not be able to expect that many points on a week-to-week basis with Williams and Allen both healthy. But if you need somebody, you need to stash somebody, you've got players that are going to be at a bye week, might not be a bad decision to pick up Josh Palmer.
My favorite ad of the week, and I will lock this down because I almost made this move and I regretfully sit back in my chair and think, why didn't you just drop, X person who you were like, do you stay on my team? Do you go for Terrace Marshall Jr.? Talk about also a local tie here. Mickey Joseph, wide receivers coach at LSU back in 2019 when he coached up Jamar Chase and Terrace Marshall Jr. Now the Nebraska interim head coach, possibly the next head coach at Nebraska, bringing it back to the local tie with Terrace Marshall Jr. Mickey Joseph obviously knew how talented he was, so why not give Terrace Marshall a chance now in your fantasy lineups? Think about the stat lines and how misleading they may look, but also remember, he had 15 targets combined across his last 2 games. He caught his first career touchdown and had 7 receptions for 140 yards in that time. This is somebody that I look at right now and think, I need a receiver, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's bye week, whether it's just I want somebody down the stretch. And I look at the Panthers team and how often they throw the football because they're losing in games.
Yeah.
DJ Moore gets a lot of production. I'm totally with you there. But Terrace Marshall Jr., he's going to star. He's going to be a superstar.
Certainly seems like it based on the past 2 games specifically.
He is 6% owned in leagues. I will probably be able to snag him now without people realizing it. But if you're listening to this show right now, snag him too. I'm telling you, Terrace Marshall Jr. will continue to produce down the stretch. He is my favorite ad of the week. He is a monster 2 out wide.
I need a wide receiver, so we'll see who beats who to it.
See, this is why I should never do this show.
Go now.
I give my details. Where am I? I'm 7th. You are 4th.
I'm gonna kind of skip over running backs this week, just because I don't know. I wasn't super impressed.
There's not a lot of running backs out there, though.
But he's also not.
Yeah, but Clyde Edwards-Helaire didn't do anything either.
Has had lower production, which is the only reason I put him on my list, and that would be the only reason.
I would just avoid
a run back,
Casey's backfield.
Yeah, right now I don't know. I do have a tight end.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You have a tight end?
Wow. This is Children's Hour here on God Bless Fantasy Football. I've got Dolchich on my list.
He's been playing well.
Yes, very well.
Coming off a bye week.
They're coming off a bye week, exactly. having scored at least 11 fantasy football points. Hey, I made it work in 3 straight games and increasing his yardage in each of those games. For the record, he was 2 of 3 for 44 and a touchdown, 6 of 9 for 51, and 4 of 5 for 87 in the last 3 games. Had 14 targets and 10 catches total over the last 2, and before the bye has now had an extra week to build some chemistry with Russell Wilson.
This is a family show, Sasha.
What did I say?
This is a family show.
Did I swear?
Nope. We don't talk about tight ends on this show.
Oh my God. Yes, we do.
This is a family show.
TDs?
We do talk about TDs.
TDs and tight ends.
TDs and tight ends. That's the name of this podcast
and
today.
Straight down there.
And Cam gets the pen out and starts dotting it down.
Sweet.
Jotting it down. Dotting it down. Can you imagine dotting it down?
What is it called? Stippling when you're
yes.
dot art? Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
Something like that.
You learned something new today if you didn't know that before. You're welcome.
Yeah. And you also learned that this waiver wire period isn't as fresh as some of the last.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you do your due diligence. Don't burn your waiver if you don't feel like you need to, but there are some options out there. I mean, we ran down the list. I told you almost every bear to grab in regards to Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, and Darnell Mooney. Sasha threw out Justin Fields' name as well. Also, Rondale Moore. Josh Palmer's name was tossed around. Terrace Marshall Jr. We went Pacheco's route. I would probably avoid. Sasha would agree. She probably just reluctantly put down a running back just so that she had one. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Dolcic, the tight end in Denver, another one to keep your eye on. But none of these guys are overly impressive. So, no. I mean, I wouldn't be astonished if nobody went off this week and nobody used their waiver. It wouldn't come as a surprise to me.
Got a buttload of people on a bye week and you have to. I could see that happening.
You know,
that's
injuries make it work. Yeah, of course. Like you're going to have to mix and match every now and then. But aside from that, I worked the waiver wire last week and nobody really impressed me.
Right.
And I doubt that it will happen again. Right.
Yeah.
Like I don't really see it. So do your due diligence. Like I said, follow along with God Bless Fantasy Football. We put out our message all over Hurrdat Sports. Catch us wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's Apple, Spotify, or some other place. I don't even know if we live anywhere else other than those two, but
everywhere you get your podcasts.
We may live under a rock. Who knows? Have a blessed Tuesday. I haven't worked that one in just yet, so I'm going to say it again. And remember, there are many things a man can do with his time, but none are better than this. God bless you, and God bless Fantasy Football.